you this, man. I got a beef to pick with Philly 500, man. He's been telling me between him and Tone and Xander and all these guys, I got a beef with him. Before I first started talking to all you guys in Philly, hey, you got to watch out for this Howie Roseman. Hey, you got to watch out for this Howie Roseman. Hey, you got to watch out for this. I don't know, man. This guy looks like he's Merlin the magician. Belongs at the Knights round table with Excalibur. Let's bring in Philly 500. I don't know.
Yo.
Holy cow, man. Passed out gabagool around.
I just finished it. What are you talking about?
Dude, your boy, hey, without polluting the question, 3 days, your takeaways from what you've seen with the DeAndre Swift move.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I just could not believe the way the draft fell. First of all, we talked about the first day. Second day, I thought was pretty good too. But to start day 3 by trading up and getting Ringo, I thought was a huge move. And then the DeAndre Swift is, to me, what puts the Eagles over the top, because I truly believe that they needed another running back. You needed another running back on this team. And to get DeAndre Swift, a guy who's legitimately a dual threat for this team, I just think it took it to another level. I really did.
Here are the guys: Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, Sidney Brown, Keely Ringo. I even liked the Tanner McKee draft because he was recruited by Coach Shaw at Stanford. 188. I think he's a good player. Even you know what's significant about all these guys here? They were all ranked at one time in the ESPN or the Rivals 100 best high school prospects. And they all went to gigantic programs: Texas, Stanford, Georgia, Illinois, Bama, Georgia. I mean, they stayed in that sandbox, Philly. They're not going out with the North Dakota states or the Mississippi Valley states and shit like that. But outside of the first round guys, which one of these dudes do you think makes the biggest impact? Steen, Brown, Ringo, or the D tackle that was taken in the 7th?
If I had to guess, I'm going to say I think Steen or Brown, because I think with Stoutland coaching Steen, I really like that. And I think with Brown, I think he comes into a position where if he could come in and perform, I think he could legitimately win a job there. I think the safety spot is wide open. So I think he's got a real shot. Now, I really like Ringo, and I want to see what they do with him, because from everything I was reading about him leading up, a lot of people felt that he is a guy that is going to be a better safety in this league than a corner. So if that's the case, then him also. But I think those guys have a chance to do something, because of, those are where the Eagles position-wise, I think, are a little weak, or a little thin, rather.
I said this in the first hour about Nolan Smith. This is how I would play him. I would play him in the wide side of the field to take full advantage of that 4-3-9. And for me, he's more of a player like a Micah Parsons in the aspect where he could cover tight ends and he could cover backs out of the backfield because of his speed. You have good DEs that set the edge with Graham and with Sweat. You've got 2 weapons now. Okay, this is why I think a 43 is more conducive to a 34. I'm not taking Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis off the field just to play one of those 3. If anything, I'm going to play a bear front, and I'm going to use these 2 guys as weapons, because as a coordinator, if I'm offense, I got to go like this. I'm not putting a back on a guy who runs a 4-3-9, and I'm surely not going to put a back on somebody who had 17 sacks. So I think they've got more weapons this year to work with than what they did a year ago. They may be more inexperienced, but do you think they look like they have more versatility on how they can get to the passer?
Yeah, a lot of ways I actually do, especially with the Nolan Smith move. what they're going to be able to do with him. And a lot of people have talked about him being used like Reddick, but I think you can actually do more with him because you have Reddick too. So yeah, I think they got a lot of versatility. I really do. It's quite remarkable what Howie Roseman has done. I don't know where this guy came from, the reincarnation of Howie Roseman, but man, I like it. I like it a lot.
I put some free agents down here that I think are going to be casualty hits on June 1. There's another day on the calendar now that he's going to be able to take a shopping cart and go take a look. Now, Harrison Smith, he was targeted a lot last year, and he was hurt on that Vikings defense. Now, to me, he has got a huge number. He's a little old in the tooth. He's a safety, though. He's 33, 6-time Pro Bowler. Do you give it a sniff, or do you keep with what you have?
At that position, I keep with what I have. Harrison Smith, Viking, a little old on tooth, like you said. We beat the crap out of him enough. I'll pass.
How about a 30-year-old Shaq Barrett?
Yeah,
who is going to be from what I'm understanding from the Bucks, he's going to be on the open market and he's going to be a casualty of the cap. He's 30. Just had a tragedy, obviously. There's going to be a lot of people that are, and I think he's going to be playing for his daughter, and he's going to be a highly motivated man. He is always a highly motivated man, and I love the man. What do you think about something like that for depth?
Yeah, I mean, sure, for depth, why not? I would be open to that, of course.
I think Michael Thomas, the wide receiver for the Saints. How about this one? I'm going to show you why. And here's why I think this makes sense. Remember something a couple of years ago, Odell Beckham took the 3-hole job with the Rams, parlayed that into a $15 million job, even with him being hurt in Baltimore because he won a Super Bowl. Can't you position it this way? Hey, Michael, you're not going to have 100 catches here, but you're going to go into the slot, and we're going to put you in the slot, and you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. Then if you don't want to re-sign here, whatever, you're going to have a gigantic market for you in the open market, and you're going to be able to revitalize that resume, which has suffered the last 2 years in New Orleans. Could you pitch that to someone like him? Because winning has got to matter. Because do you want 100 catches, or do you want a Super Bowl ring?
Right. Well, if he wants to win, then why not pitch it to him? I'm good with the idea of bringing somebody else in for that slot wide receiver spot. I have no problem with that at all. I think they're okay with what they have, but if you can improve it, yeah, definitely. But I don't know. How old is Michael Thomas anyways?
I think he's 30.
30. Yeah, maybe for like a year. If he's willing to take that slot spot, sure. I'm open to it.
Here's the guy I want. And there's a relationship with the Eagles.
Okay.
C.J. Mosley, Jets linebacker, last year's second team All-Pro. And there's a relationship with Joe Douglas. I think this guy's going to be – he signed a contract a couple years ago, and it is heavy. Here's the problem with the Jets now. You know, next year they got to pay Aaron Rodgers $105 million.
Wow.
Hey, Philly, stroke him, not broken up. 105.
Wow.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be on the street because of deals that they signed prior to Rodgers getting there. You know, there's only so much you can manipulate the cap with. This guy Mosley, you put him in middle, you put him in the linebacker position. I think that solidifies your defense.
I like that. I think that's the one spot and the one area we got to look at right now where the Eagles should try to add something. You know, there's also talk about guys like Isaiah Simmons and Patrick Queen getting their 5th option, not picked up. So they may be guys that could be possibly moved. So I like the idea. I really think the 2 spots the Eagles can still address, the linebacker and then special teams. I think they need somebody that can return a kick. I mean, it'd be nice.
Man, they definitely got to get somebody back there. All right. I'm going to do something here, and you tell me if you concur or you disagree here. And then I'm going to give you my top 5 teams. And I wrote this down. This is post free agency and post 3-day draft. I wrote
Okay.
this down for the AFC. I've got Browns 10, Dolphins 9, Jets 8, Broncos 7, Ravens 6, Chargers 5, Jags 4, Bills 3, Bengals 2, Chiefs 1. You may have them positioned differently, but
Yeah.
does that sound like
Yeah.
the 10 best teams in the AFC?
Yeah, that's about right. I think so. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Here's who I have in the NFC. I got the Saints 10, Panthers 9. There's something about the Giants. I don't know why I put them at 8, but man, I think they're going to take a step back. The Lions have to prove it to me, but I think they're trending in the right direction. I have them 7.
Mhm.
This might be high with the Rams, but you can't tell me Aaron Donald healthy, Matthew Stafford healthy, Cooper Kupp healthy, and a healthy full Rams team. And it's not because I think it's because of the war of attrition that I'm putting the Rams there, because there's really nobody else in the NFC. You know what I mean? We're going to put there the Cardinals, the Bears,
Right.
maybe
Right.
Washington, right?
Right.
I got the Cowboys 5. I got the Vikings 4. I think they'll be better with Brian Flores as their DC. I got the Seahawks 3.
Mm.
I got the Niners 2. And I got the Eagles 1.
Yeah, I think I for the most part I agree with it. I'd probably have a few slots differently, but for the most part I agree.
Here's
I
my
would
5
put-
best teams in the NFL now.
Okay.
Put them all, AFC, NFC.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Everyone know it, but I can't believe it. 5, I've got Bills. Now, I think this is the best teams. That doesn't necessarily mean we saw the Bruins get knocked out. We saw the Celtics get beat last night, right?
Hate the Celtics. Hate them.
Right?
Yes.
You see it, right? Look at Milwaukee, the Bucks.
Yeah.
So I got the Bills 5. I got the Niners 4. The Bengals 3. You're going to shit here. The Chiefs 2. And the Eagles 1.
Yeah. I agree.
Don't you think the Eagles have the best team in the NFL now?
Yeah, absolutely. Roster-wise, they have the best roster. I would put Buffalo ahead of San Francisco, but
You put Buffalo ahead of San Fran because of the quarterback.
Yeah. But I agree with that. Otherwise, I do think the Eagles have the best roster in the NFL. I don't even think it's close. I think they definitely do.
I would say this to you. What separates probably Kansas, what keeps it close, do you agree? What keeps it close between Kansas City and Philly is the fact that Reed and the quarterback are the differences, and what keeps it close, because I'll say this to you. Well, dude, if you put Justin Herbert in Kansas City with Andy Reid, I'm sorry, that's not a better team than Philadelphia. Right. And if you put Sean McVay, I don't care how good people think Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, let's say, in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, I don't know that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I think those two guys are the separating factors. Do you agree?
I agree. 100%. Absolutely. No
What's the one move you want to see the Eagles do right now? I'm gonna throw this out to you, and you tell me if I'm wacky here.
Okay.
Go get that Matt Araiza guy. Do you know what the judge? Hey, do you know what the judge did? He released all the videos. He's not in any one of them. He's not been mentioned anywhere in them. There's been no evidence to show that he was there at all or involved in any way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, everything he was saying is true. His boys started the party at his dorm room and then left. He wasn't involved with it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but to me, the Eagles have the culture to absorb some of this. Can you imagine having something like that on your football team that changes field position with one play?
Yeah, we definitely could use an upgraded punter. Listen, if he's been cleared, then when a guy's not guilty, he's not guilty. That's it. You know, he should have his life back, as far as I'm concerned. So, I have no problem with that. I wouldn't mind that. It doesn't bother me if he's not guilty. Then I think he deserves to be able to come back and restart his life. No
Here's
doubt
the
about it.
problem, though. You have one guy already in your market questioning Jalen Carter in the way he didn't like the way he answered
Yeah.
and was contrite enough. So something like this also, would be brought up immediately, and it would be a major story because get
Yeah.
this, that media likes to make themselves part of the story, Philly. So
Yeah.
again, maybe that's the only thing that would hedge this thing here is because maybe the Eagles just don't want that kind of they don't want that kind of juju around the team.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame because if we're talking a kid not being guilty, anybody can accuse you of anything, and then you're scarred for life, and you carry that even if you didn't do anything. To me, if I was the owner, that those kind of things I would not let affect me. If somebody's not guilty and they're innocent, then I gotta respect that. So to me, I would be open to it, definitely. But if you ask me what position I think the Eagles need to address, I think linebacker. I think if they can upgrade the linebacker still, maybe with Patrick Queen trade or a Simmons, something like that, I would do it.
You think this team goes back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I think we're looking at a repeat, a Kansas City Eagles Super Bowl rematch.
See, I don't think KC gets back there.
No. I think
Buffalo. I think Buffalo or Cincinnati get there. And hey, and by the way, I think the Jags are coming.
Jags are going to be a better team. There's no question about it. The thing with Cincinnati, I wonder, is if Burrows doesn't have his extension and he's got to go into next year.
Okay.
I want to know where his head's going to be at because that's a big. I mean, Cincinnati, they don't pay their guys. Let's face it. So I could see that being a big cloud over the Bengals all season.
Here, Mike Brown, the owner of the Bengals, is one of these kind of guys. When you go to lunch and there's a guy that goes like this, let me get my wallet. And his hands can't reach in his wallet.
Right.
It's a little too short. He's got alligator arms and he's got a zipper on his wallet, man. So you think they go back, right?
Yeah, I mean, barring injury, and we're still in May, so there's a long time. But I think that they're built to go back. I think they have the best roster. And what I really like is I really think that DeAndre Swift move puts this team over the top because I think they got a better running back group than they did last year. And I think they have a running back in which they can use in the passing game, which gives them another element they didn't have last year. I really think that was the move. I mean, that's why we talked about Bijan Robinson and getting another back for that. Able to do it with DeAndre Swift, which was shocking. Okay. So I think they're built to go back, hopefully no injuries, knock on wood, all that. But I think this team's built, man. They're built. I love how they're built. And I think they're ready. And the NFC conference is weak. Let's face it. If you look at the conference, there's nobody that scares me. As long as the 49ers have Brock Purdy at quarterback, I have to see.
What if they bring Brady in?
Oh, yeah. If Brady has anything left, he looked 90 years old versus Dallas, but we'll see. He looked shot to me his last playoff game. So,
okay, I took a lot of heat from people. I'm like, hey, Philly's looking for you. Philly's looking for you. I'm half in the bag. During the draft, I've already had about 4 margaritas. I'm half in the bag. And you're going, get so it. And I'm going like, what? Everyone's like, what? You thought? And I'm like, next time, text me.
What happened was the Eagles just traded for Swift. And I was freaking out live. I was like, I would love to know what Silio's saying. People were like, get him on. Go tell him to come on.
Hey,
I didn't think about it. But next time.
Text me next time. I don't do shows. Okay. But yours, I will do anytime you want me to.
Oh, man.
I am always there for you. But, bro, you got it. Just like Xander, you got to track me down, dog.
All right. I will do that. It was, like I said, it was last second thing. So. I was like, I wasn't gonna text you.
I mean, like Philly 500 is going like this. Get me the rock. Hey, hang on here. Wait a second here. Hey, wait a minute. Give me Ice Cube. Go get those guys. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm just surprised everybody went and went to you and stuff. I didn't know people were gonna actually run over there, and be like, get over there.
Yeah, they're in my DMs going like this. Hey, Philly's looking for you. I'm like, I'm in the bag here with this guy. What is he? What the Jesus Christ? Hey, make sure you guys check out his fabulous stream.
Yes.
All you have to do is go Philly 500, and it's right
up?
there, man. He's done a great job at building
Thank
his empire as well, and we so
Thank you.
appreciate your time, brother. I mean,
Thank you, my man.
this is a fun
Appreciate
time right now going on. I appreciate
Great
it. Make
time.
sure you check
Appreciate
him out. Philly, thank you, brother.
Thank you, my man. Peace.
All right, folks, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.